Okay, air vest is working. Just got to do my helmet up, get the gloves on. So I've got to nip out to, well, I'm going to Home Bargains basically, to get some Jakemans lozenges, and then I might, while I'm over that way, just have a nip over into my local J&S. Not for any particular reason, but yeah, just have a mooch around really. So bike has been serviced. So basically when I went away, when I got back, my chain had stretched, and yeah, I needed new pads all round, so I thought I might as well have it serviced at the same time, which is what I did. So first video back after the well, mini tour, I guess, to Whitby and Scarborough, which was really good, to be honest. I really enjoyed myself. A bit boring getting up there and back, so I just did the motorway to Manchester and back, but needs must and all that. But while I was away, it was fantastic. Weather was okay, it could have been a lot worse. Got a bit wet on the Sunday. But unfortunately, as you will have seen if you've watched the previous videos, some of the footage isn't the best. I'm learning with all this stuff, and what I've realised is I should have put, I did have filters, but I should have put darker filters on, or even should have put a filter on, but I just didn't, and some of the footage is pretty poor. I've put some on that I've kind of tried to rescue, but one of the best roads that we was on, one of the mountain passes or hill passes, whatever you want to call them, the footage was just terrible, so I obviously haven't put that on, which is a shame because it was an amazing road. And like I say, the rest of it isn't the best, a lot of it, but lesson learned. I will not make that mistake again, and today it's a lovely day, so I've got a dark filter on, so hopefully this footage is okay. My step work is going great. I have had some really good sessions with my sponsor. He wanted to kind of do something a little bit different than he's done before with a couple of the steps after step 4, which I said that's fine, whatever. Nothing too, I mean, so step 4 is where I kind of left before I went away, but I've obviously finished that now, which was basically a moral inventory of yourself, and was really, really good to dig that deep and learn a few things about yourself, and yeah, find out what your defects are really. And then step sort of 5 is discussing that with basically your sponsor and higher power really, so yourself, another human being, and your higher power, and just getting it all out, and I did feel better for that. And then, or is that step 6? I'm getting confused myself now. Step 5 and 6 kind of roll in together really, all pretty much similar stuff, but in the book itself, like, they're all just like kind of one paragraph, whereas Bill wrote a book alongside the Alcoholics Anonymous book called the 12 and 12, the 12 steps and 12 traditions, which goes into a bit more depth of the steps. So that's what we did with step 5 and 6 basically. We just read into that and just put a bit more meat on the bones with it, and it was really good because, like, once I've discovered my defects, the idea is then to rid yourself of them, I guess. But that's kind of what it says. But then when you read the book, the 12 and 12, it explains that in a bit more depth. That obviously it's not a magic wand. The idea is to strive for perfection with no defects, but you're not going to get there straight away, and that was really good to get my head around, because I was struggling to like what, you know, I get working out what your defects are, what your problems are, like jealousy and selfishness and self-pity and ego and all that sort of stuff. But just, I mean, what you're supposed to do, like, then, you know, like, oh, please get rid of these from me. And I mean, it's not as easy as that, is it? And so reading the 12 and 12 kind of explains that you don't have to do them all at the same time. You don't have to, you know what I mean? You're not going to be perfect from day one, but the idea is the first step is identifying them and then work on them. Some you might want to work on more than others, like, you know what I mean, you might want to rid yourself of jealousy straight away, so, you know, work on that first and get that under control, and then move on to your ego, or whichever way round you want to do it. And some of them you might think, I don't even want to look at that yet, I want to get rid of these. And so it was quite interesting to do that, whereas just to say, oh, ask your higher power to rid you of your defects, well, you know what I mean, there's a bit more to it than that, isn't there? So that was really good. And then yesterday I did my step 7, which is basically a little review of where you are so far, and just having a word with your higher power about ridding yourself of the defects and saying it out loud to yourself. And yeah, and it was a bit emotional for me, to be honest. Yeah, and not in a bad way, in kind of a good way, really. Realising that actually I'm a bit of a knob. Or what? Let me rephrase that. I was a bit of a knob when it came to some of the stuff I was doing. You know, I was thinking, like, some of the resentments I had against people, which is your step 4, and then when you look at it and you look at your part to play in that, it's like, well, actually, yeah, a lot of it was my doing, and I could have done things a bit different to get a different outcome. And so that part was really, really good, to be honest. But that's also the part that got me a little bit emotional, because I could think about, well, actually, I could have done that bit a bit different. I could have handled that situation slightly different. I didn't have to treat that person that way. And yeah, it was pretty good. Lovely bit of road, this. Need a bit of concentration though. So yeah, so like I say, a lot of people put step 4 off because it's, well, it can get that way. But I just embraced it and got it done. And yeah, I'm glad I did it that way. So there, so now step 8, which I've not started yet, is doing your amends list. So basically you set about with amends to people, saying sorry for what you've done and harmed and stuff, apart from if it's going to cause any further harm, then obviously you leave that alone. So it has been a good couple of weeks, really, from my step point of view, and because I'm doing well on my step work, it's, you know what I mean, I'm getting more and more information and tools on how to handle my drinking thoughts and stuff. The more I'm doing the step work and getting more into it, the more I'm realising things about myself, the better it is I'm handling situations. And that's just kind of improving more and more, because at the end of the day, the same shit is still happening to me day in, day out. I'm just dealing with it better. I'm not reacting to it as much. The step work gives you the tools to deal with that thought process and like have the defense against the first thought, to not let it spiral out of control and turn it into something that it's not. So for instance, like during the day at work, you know what I mean, let's say for instance a bus pulls out here in the central London, I'd be going off my head, hanging out the window, beeping, screaming. Now I might still react to it, but I'll just go, oh, you so and so, and that'll be it. I won't overreact to it, because I've realised, like, what is the point? In a minute down the road, he's going to turn off one way and I'm going to go another way, and that's it, done. And it's him pulling out of me, it's probably cost me 2 seconds of my day. So it's just absolutely pointless reacting to it the way I had been. But I just couldn't see stuff like that before. But sometimes it isn't like that. Sometimes I am still overreacting. But I know how to handle that now. If I am getting that way, I can just pull over, find a quiet place and reset. You know what I mean? Have a little word to myself, have a little pray to my higher power, and pause and think, what is the point? There's no need for it. So you can relax. You don't have to be like that. And life is better for that, for me. I am finding out that the less stressed I am, the less stressed my day becomes. And I'm liking it. It's good. Oh, if you're into Jakemans lozenges, Home Bargains is the place to be. It's where you get them from. I'll probably sell them at loads of places, but they seem to have a better selection of Home Bargains. So yeah, that's where I'm going to get me my lozenges. Well, hopefully I'm going there eventually. If these clowns I'll decide where they're going. I'll just do that. And I'll go in the motorbike, the unofficial motorbike car park. Which is here. Anyway, see you in a bit. Right, so that's me assortment of Jakemans done. So I'm just... I'm going to do my chin strap first. And then I'm going to have a mooch over to J&S, only down the road, so while I'm here I might as well. Not particularly after anything. I am just going to have a bit. So, I was going to go to J&S, but then my mate and his missus, or my mate and her fella, because they're both mates, just turned up, so I've just had a bit of a chat, and the weather has took a turn for the worse, so I am not going to go to J&S now. I am just going to go homesies. So anyway, got my Jakemans, and yeah, I think it's homey-timey. And that lady there just said, I like your bike. Which was nice of her. So there you go, little trip out, little bit of a video. Got to edit the rest of the little mini tour.